The stars flickered strangely in the sky above Asgard, as if the very fabric of reality were being pulled taut. The realm had known peace for decades, since the Bifrost was rebuilt and the 9 realms aligned. But peace, like glass, was fragile. And now, in the deep reaches of Muspelheim, something ancient had awakened. Thor, god of thunder, stood on the edge of the Rainbow Bridge, Mjolnir humming in his grip. He had felt it long before Heimdall spoke it, a tremor in the roots of Yggdrasil. Rumors spoke of Surtur, the fire demon rising again, reborn through dark energy and cosmic flame. But this time, it wasn't Ragnarok he aimed to bring. This time, it was conquest. In the wake of the celestial wars and the shattering of the cosmic prism, fragments of forbidden power had been scattered across the realms. Surtur had found one, and it was changing him. Thor left quietly, only telling one soul, Kara Veldari, a brilliant Xandarian astrophysicist and his former lover. Kara was assigned to the new Interrealm Observatory that tracked cosmic anomalies. She had been studying strange gamma spikes in Muspelheim's orbit. When Thor arrived, she already knew something was wrong. "You shouldn't have come," she said, her voice trembling not from fear, but from unresolved tension. "I don't run from threats," Thor said softly. "I confront them. You didn't confront me. You just left." That silence between them held weight heavier than Mjolnir. But there was no time to reopen that wound. Surtur had torn open a rift at the core of Muspelheim, drawing power from an 8th-dimensional singularity. An ancient star collapsed in on itself. The fire giant was no longer bound by flesh and flame. He was evolving. When Thor and Kara descended to Muspelheim, they were met with chaos. Rivers of magma twisting unnaturally, skies torn open by dimensional tears, and Surtur's minions, flame-wrought beasts with molten hearts and steel claws, patrolling the obsidian cliffs. Thor fought fiercely, lightning splitting the battlefield. Kara used a quantum destabilizer she'd engineered, disrupting the monster's temporal forms just long enough to let Thor finish them off. They moved as one, falling back into old rhythm, her intellect, his strength. Deeper in the caverns of Muspelheim, Surtur was no longer a beast of fire. He had grown. His form was semi-ethereal, his crown a shifting halo of solar plasma. The shard of the prism pulsed in his chest like a second heart. "You come again, Odinson," Surtur rumbled, voice like a volcano cracking open. "But I am not the creature you defeated before. I am the storm that melts time." Thor stood firm. "Then I'll be the hammer that silences you." Their clash ignited the very ground. Thor's lightning met Surtur's solar flame in explosive fury. Each strike sent shockwaves through the molten realm. Mjolnir fractured one of Surtur's arms, but it regenerated instantly, powered by the prism's energy. Kara hacked into the volcanic control grid and discovered the source of the power surge, a dimensional conduit hidden beneath the core. Surtur had bound the shard into a living conduit of time energy, making him effectively immortal in this realm. If we can collapse the conduit, Kara said through gritted teeth, we sever his connection. But it'll destroy this entire layer of Muspelheim. Thor looked at her. What about you? I'll guide the charge. You handle the demon. Kara, I didn't build interstellar tech just to watch you die with a hammer in your hand, she snapped. Go. Thor lunged back into battle, hammer spinning, catching Surtur mid-strike and driving him into a lava crater. The skies above turned red as the prism flared wildly. Surtur laughed, even as his form began to destabilize. You cannot kill fire, thunder god. I will return across realms, across time. Then I'll keep striking, Thor growled, again and again. Kara reached the conduit and uploaded the overload sequence. As energy surged through her console, it backfired, sending a bolt of chaotic matter through her body. She screamed, collapsing, but her hand hit the final trigger. A white implosion consumed the cavern. The conduit shattered. Surtur, mid-roar, cracked like molten glass and exploded in a final burst of light. The prism core fragmented, and its shards shot into the void. Thor flew into the collapsing chamber, pulling Kara's body into his arms. She was still breathing barely, but the exposure had marked her. Her eyes glowed faintly, and her skin pulsed with leftover quantum energy. You saved the realms, Thor whispered. She smiled faintly. Told you I was smarter than you. They escaped as the last of Muspelheim's lower realm crumbled. Back in Asgard, Kara was stabilized in the healing chambers. She had changed, evolved, much like Surtur had. But instead of madness, she had gained insight. Vision. I see timelines now, she told Thor weeks later. Fragments of what might be, what could still come. And what do you see in us? Thor asked, his voice quiet. I see a storm still brewing, but also a sunrise. He kissed her hand gently, something tender and rare in the god of thunder. Then let's face both, together. And as the sun rose over Asgard, a new threat stirred far beyond the stars, a watcher observing the battle's outcome, noting the fractured prism's energy trails. But for now, peace had returned, and Thor once again stood not just as a god, but as a guardian. With love by his side, lightning in his heart, and the courage to face whatever storm came next.